Support for this message comes from Sony Pictures, presenting the new movie Here, reuniting the director, writer, and stars of Forrest Gump. A tale of love, loss, laughter, and life, all of which happen right here. Here is exclusively in theaters on Friday, November 1st.
Hey, before we begin this week's show, we should tell you this is another archive episode, an episode that was recorded who knows when, but a long time ago.
NPR killed it, but we are bringing it back to life for you.
Halloween is next week, and that means the pumpkin-shaped Reese's Cup is now in stores.
So we want to know, does the pumpkin shape Reese's Cup give you a larger peanut butter to chocolate ratio and therefore a superior peanut butter cup?
Joining us now is Sam. He's a 14-year-old math student.
So Sam, before we get into this, am I to understand that you are skipping class to have this conversation?
Well, actually, right now, this is my lunch period. I was doing some research during gym class.
Okay.
Wait, did you already skip gym?
Yes.
All right, well, let's start here. Do I get a better peanut butter to chocolate ratio with the pumpkin-shaped Reese Cup?
Well, I was wondering the same question. So I actually went to the store, and I bought 6 different types of Reese's just for a variety.
Uh-huh.
And out of, the regular, circular cup sizes, I got the king size, the regular size, the miniature size, and the mini size. And then out of the pumpkin size, I got the king size and the regular pumpkin.
All right.
So for the first 4 that were in the cup shape, those are really in the shape of a frustum. In case you don't know, a frustum is when you take a cone and then you slice off the top part, the pointy part.
Yeah.
How you have a circle on top and then a circle on bottom, but the circle on the bottom is bigger.
And that's a frustum?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
And that would be the shape of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
So that's something I've just learned already is that the basic standard Reese Cup shape, it should be called a Reese's frustum.
Yes, not a Reese's Cup.
Okay. So which of these many shapes that you did calculations on is going to give us the best peanut butter to chocolate ratio?
After finding the volume of the inner frustum of the peanut butter and the whole frustum of the peanut butter cup, I got that the king size has 37% of it is peanut butter.
Okay.
And the regular is about 30% peanut butter. So just the regular shape is 30%.
Wow.
And so where does the pumpkin fall?
So the pumpkin, I had to measure it in a different way because the pumpkin is like an ellipse.
Okay.
So the regular pumpkin Reese's had 38% peanut butter. So it beat out all the other Reese's.
Wow.
But then when I went to the king pumpkin, it won by a really large amount. It had 67% peanut butter.
What?
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's really, this is really helpful.
Yeah, so if you're really into peanut butter, I would suggest taking advantage of Halloween and buying a lot of the pumpkin shapes.
So I have to ask, in doing this research for us, which we're very grateful, how many ellipses or frustums did you eat?
Oh, well, I ate a decent amount. I'd say maybe, I tried to stay low on them because I didn't want my mom getting mad at me.
Yeah.
So I think I only ate maybe 5, 6, maybe 7 of each kind. Don't tell her that.
Wait, 7 of each kind?
Maybe.
Wait, and there were 7 kinds?
Yeah, there were
49?
Well, there were 6 kinds.
Oh,
so
6.
6 times 7 is 42.
Are you going trick or treating this Halloween?
Yes, I am.
What's your costume?
I haven't decided yet. Do you have any suggestions?
You could be a frustrum.
Oh, maybe.
I notice we should just clarify that I am saying frustum and Mike is saying frustrum. Which one is it?
Okay, so originally when I first learned the word, I thought it was frustrum, Frustrum.
Uh-huh.
But it turns out there isn't the second R. It's just Frustum.
Frustum.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess being wrong about that's probably frustrating.
Yeah.
I myself was not frustrated by that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know about the pumpkins. We know about the frustums. Is there an ideal, perfect, best shape?
So I actually did some research on this, and I figured out that the best Reese's shape for having the most peanut butter would be Reese's in the shape of a sphere, because it would be able to hold the most volume, which would be the peanut butter, using the least amount of surface area.
And then I guess, is it the bigger that sphere got, the better ratio of peanut butter to chocolate we would get?
The bigger it got, it would be a better ratio.
So really the best optimal Reese's would be a sphere of infinite size, a sphere as large as the universe would allow.
Yes, like something really, really big.
Wow, but you couldn't sell that in a store.
I think you'd be frustrated in trying to get it in the store.
All right, Sam, back to class. This is How to Do Everything. I'm Mike.
And I'm Ian. On today's show, we ask an icon of cool how to be cool.
But first,
I was just reading Child 44. It's a thriller. I recommend it. Actually, I gave it to Mike. He has yet to read it.
It's still on my desk at work.
But there's a passage in it that jumped out at me. The main character has been wounded. He's out in the woods, and he's with this woman. She sees a spider web on a tree. I will just read from here. She broke the web with her fingers, transferring it whole and laying it across the ripped flesh of Leo's upper arm. Immediately, the blood seemed to solidify upon touching the thin silver lines. She worked for several minutes, searching for more webs. By the time she finished, the bleeding had stopped.
Now, we were curious to see if you could actually do this, if you could actually staunch bleeding with a spider web.
Fritz Vollrath is the head of the Silk Group at Oxford University. He's kind of the guy you go to for spider web related questions. Fritz, is this a real thing?
Yeah, it's old peasant, I would say, technology. I think they're doing all over the world. I think certainly farmers in Europe do it, and it works. And there are a number of reasons for that. One is that the threads are very thin, and if you put them on there, obviously they form a fine mesh that encourages blood clotting, because thin threads like that just
kind of gives the blood something to latch onto. Is that
correct? Spider webs are clean because they've just been out there. Depending on what web you use, it's probably fresh. It's just been built, and quite a number of webs have a sort of fungicidal, bactericidal properties, because fungal spore can land on it, and the fungus can grow on it because spider web is a protein. So the spider protects its proteins from being attacked by making them bactericidal a little bit.
wow?
So it is actually the right thing to do, is all I can say. And I've once seen somebody do it in Mexico somewhere. I think he chopped himself a little bit with a machete, and he just went there and grabbed a handful of spider webs and slapped it on.
wait a minute. That's a deep cut, right, with a machete?
That's quite a deep cut, yeah.
And you can do that with, how many webs would it take to...
Well, just as much as you can find. Yeah, you know, if you look around, there's quite a lot of webs around. And, you just slapped it on. I mean, what else? What is the alternative?
Yeah.
The alternative, if you have a clean bandage, of course, perfect. You know, you wrap it around, it's all wonderful. If the alternative is, a dirty shirt, it's an experiment in that case.
It's kind of astonishingly perfect for this application. You know, it clots, it's antibacterial, it's biodegradable. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's absolutely the right thing to do.
Can I ask you one thing not having to do with spiders?
Yeah.
Are you married to the person who invented Jenga?
That's correct.
That's amazing.
You want to talk to her. If you want to talk to her, I can get her. I think she's just sitting in there chatting.
Really?
I think we'll say hi, sure.
Why not?
Okay. Let me get Leslie. Leslie.
Hello?
Hello, Leslie?
Yes?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
So there are two people here. This is Mike, and that's Ian.
Hi there.
Hello?
So we were just speaking with your husband. We had found him because we have a podcast, and we had a question about spider webs. But in our research
Right.
of his work, we discovered that he was married to the person who invented Jenga.
He's just handed me over the phone with no explanation of who I was going to be speaking to. Yes, I'm she.
Well, I guess mostly we just found that amazing, and I think we both wanted to say thank you because we love your invention.
You're very welcome. I hope you've had many lost hours playing the game.
Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. Can we ask where the idea came from?
Yes, sure. It's a game that evolved within my family, and we're talking back in the 70s when I was living in Ghana. I mean, it took some years for me to for the penny to drop that it wasn't what everybody did with a pile of wooden bricks.
Wow.
Then I actually took the game to market in 1983 when I was living in Oxford and figured out that every time I brought out my set of bricks to play with people, they got excited about it. And I suddenly thought, why not try and turn this into a game and a commercial game.
When you were first playing in Ghana, what were you using as the blocks?
They were blocks. They were offcuts. Ghana is a country that's full of it's a timber producing country, and these were offcuts from a sawmill. I had a much younger brother, and they were just blocks that he used to play with. As kids building blocks.
Yeah.
And actually, they were a slightly different proportion to Jenga. But what I wanted to keep in there was the fact, which was another thing that sort of I realized, that if they were absolutely exactly the same size as each other, the blocks, the game doesn't work. So I had to sort of figure out a way of building in the randomness into the size of it. So each block in a game of Jenga is randomly slightly different to each other block.
Oh, so that allows them to slide out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if they're all exactly the same size and the same weight, it doesn't function as a game.
That's so interesting. I think I always assumed they were exactly the same, but there were just these subtle differences.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work if they're exactly the same.
So, Leslie, you created this game. Are you really good at it?
I get beaten a lot.
Who's better, you or
Sorry,
Fritz?
Me, of course.
Yeah, okay. Well, Leslie, thank you so much for talking to us about this, and thanks for Jenga.
It's a pleasure.
And
I'll find out from Fritz in a minute who I'm actually talking to.
please thank him again for us, too. It's been a pleasure talking to you both.
And you.
Hey, if you have a question for us, whatever it may be, send it to our email. That's howto@npr.org.
Maybe you have a question about peanut butter cups or about Jenga. Whatever it is, we promise we have an army of 14-year-olds ready to skip class and help you out.
We will ruin the next generation of children just to help you. So consider that when you send us a question at howto@npr.org.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from Montblanc, cherished by authors, creatives, everyday writers, and all those who want to leave their mark. The iconic Meisterstück, or masterpiece writing instrument, has been instrumental in capturing stories for over 100 years. Montblanc inspires you to write and leave your mark. Now, let's write.
This message comes from Carvana. With Carvana Value Tracker, you can track your car's value anytime, anywhere. Carvana will even let you know when your car's value changes with updated emails. However you value your car, know its worth with Carvana Value Tracker.
This message comes from NPR sponsor SiriusXM. Atlas Obscura explores the world's hidden wonders. Along the way, you'll meet some fascinating people and hear their stories. Listen to Atlas Obscura wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, Josh, what can we help you with?
So I was wondering how I could look cool while kind of standing and waiting for someone.
Like you're meeting somebody somewhere.
Yeah, I'm eating at a cafe, but maybe they're late, so I'm standing near the door, just waiting.
You're biding your time. How do you normally look?
It looked not cool. I just standing, kind of looking, doing a lot of looking.
Yeah.
What?
I tried whistling. That's my only other idea.
Okay. Yeah.
That's very casual. That's a casual look, maybe not cool.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you realized you needed to address this issue?
Yeah, well, it hit me the other day that I was waiting for a friend at a cafe, and I just realized I always just look so uncool whenever I'm waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to call you.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, I think we can help you out with this. We're gonna look into it. We'll find an expert.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he or she will be able to come up with some tips.
Okay, great.
Okay, online with us now, I think, is the perfect person to help. An icon of cool. Henry Winkler played the Fonz. He also, you may know him from Arrested Development or Barry. There is maybe nobody cooler in the world.
So, Henry, what's step one for Josh?
Step one, lean against the wall and put one foot up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
2, put your hands in your coat pocket, or if it's the summertime, in your pants pocket.
Okay. Both hands.
Okay? Do not smoke.
Okay.
Okay. And the most, that's number 3. So number 4, I think, is the key. Be authentic.
Oh.
Cool actually comes from the inside out.
Okay, sure.
It has nothing to do with what you're doing on the outside trying to put it on.
Right.
So cool is being yourself. And being yourself is compelling and magnetic and dynamic.
And I think, there's probably a significant other or a would-be significant other that he wants to look cool for. So,
Okay, then you know what? There's number 5.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You don't want to have a latte because that really screws up your breath.
Oh, yeah.
So I would read Tolstoy.
Okay.
Because I think that if he or she knows who that is, she'll be impressed, or he'll be impressed. If not, the other person will just be overwhelmed by the size of the novel.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you've kind of described a kind of a James Dean image. I've seen this picture of James Dean where he's leaning against the wall. You have your hands in a pocket, and then you're also holding then a great work of Russian literature.
That's what I would do. And you can just hold the literature in between your arm, your upper arm, and your rib cage if your hands are in your pocket.
Oh.
Okay, sure.
So
I now that I think about it, I think the sheer thickness of the novel will be impressed. And you know how they did in high school? You took a magic marker and you wrote your name on the pages, on the outside of the novel.
Yeah.
Along the pages.
Sure.
You can write, "Happy to see you."
Oh.
And if you're really good, in Russian.
Yeah.
Which I could never do.
So there's kind of a paradox here, though, because
of course you would find the paradox.
So he wants, he wants to look cool. Your advice, which sounds very good to me, is just be yourself.
Yes, that really is the truth. That is the nugget in all of this other crapola.
And it seems like a big part of that is not trying to look cool. Like to let go of trying to look cool while trying to look cool is part of looking cool.
When you let go of trying to be anything, you are.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you
even you know what? And honestly, seriously,
yeah.
I mean, even as an actor, as I learned to let go of trying to be funny or smart or great on screen, whatever it was, the more I let that go, the better I became. And I'm telling you, pennies to donuts, that would apply to dating.
Well, do you remember like a moment, speaking, as a man, not as an actor, where you were like, you know what? I'm comfortable. I'm not trying anymore.
Yes, it happened about 15, 20 minutes ago. It takes, for me, honest to God, for me as a human being, it took an awfully long time to get to that place. I spent a lot of time revering it, searching for it, looking under every cushion for it. It took me a long time to mature.
When I have one more question for Josh. One of the things that Fonzie did, as you well know and are tired of talking about, he had a catchphrase. He would say, "Hey."
Yes.
Would you give any tips on Josh maybe coming up with something that he could throw out in a desperate moment just to have a cool catchphrase?
No. And I'll tell you why. If you're not committed to the catchphrase, if it doesn't come naturally, then the person is going to look you in the eye, turn on their heels, and go home hungry.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I'm not kidding.
That's something to avoid.
I would not try a catchphrase.
Yeah. That sounds right to me.
Unless you say, "Good to see you."
Henry Winkler, this has been great. Thank you so much.
What a wonderful conversation.
All right, well, let's call Josh back.
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Hey, good.
So what do you think of Henry's advice?
Yeah, I got it. I'm ready to wait at a cafe now.
Okay. Well, let's practice. Can we ask you to? Are you near enough a wall to lean against it?
Yeah, near a wall. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm right next to one.
Can you lean against it?
Yeah. Okay. I'm leaning against it now.
Oh, all right. Now get your foot up. You got a foot up?
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
foot's up.
We want you to stay on the phone, so maybe just put one hand in a pocket. Do you have pockets? Okay.
Yeah, it's in the. Yeah. Okay. There we go. My hand's in my pocket.
So how does that feel?
Feels great.
You feel cool?
Yeah.
Well, now wait. We need a book too. Don't forget the book.
Yeah. Do you have a book handy?
I have a notebook.
Good enough.
That's fine.
Is that cool?
Yeah. That's okay. You're a writer.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the last thing then would be the catchphrase, which Henry came up with. Good to see you. How does that sound coming out of your mouth there, Josh?
Yeah, I'll try. Good to see you.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll try again.
Well, it sounded a little, maybe a little more like relaxed, maybe.
Laid back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to see you.
Okay.
That was about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about it. Now you're cool, Josh. How does
Yeah.
cool Josh see? What does he say when he sees somebody?
Okay. Just good to see you.
All right. We're getting there. Yeah. This is sounding good.
Okay.
Does this feel, this seems like a cool pose. Does it feel cool? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. You know what? I'm not in anyone's way. So I like that about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Sometimes I'm in the middle, right near the door. Sometimes people walk around. So this is nice.
Well, Josh, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I guess we should say good to see you.
Good to see you, Josh.
Good to see you.
It's getting better every time.
That's
Great.
That's a cool guy who says that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Stay cool, Josh.
Okay. Thank you guys very much.
Well, that does it for this week's show. What did we learn today, Mike?
I learned that a spider web can stop bleeding.
Yeah, it's almost better than a Band-Aid because it's antibacterial, it's fungicidal,
Yeah.
and it's horrifying.
I think it probably, the pain is numbed because you're so afraid of all of the spiders that you've just stolen the home of a bunch of spiders, and now they have nowhere to go and are probably mad at you.
Your current wound is healing nicely,
Yeah.
but there is an army of spiders coming for you in the night.
It'd be like if a giant went up to your house and grabbed your bed and just kind of rubbed it under their armpit.
Which for any giants out there listening, that's another great how-to, is human beds are a great deodorant, but not an antiperspirant, because beds don't have aluminum in them. So it's ultimately better for you.
Yeah, you need memory foam for that.
At this point, I don't know if this counts as a correction, but I feel like we should mention we got a message from Amy who was listening to an episode of How To from a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think it was episode 90 where we talked about this robot called Puking Larry.
It's a robot that vomits that they use to sort of test how diseases are spread through vomit. And it is officially named Puking Larry. And she said it should be named Spewy Lewis. And that then when it made news, it would be Spewy Lewis and the News. And Amy, you are correct.
We apologize for that oversight. Thank you, Amy.
How to Do Everything was produced this week by Nadia Wilson with technical direction from Lorna White.
Our intern is Amy, who helped us out with Spewy Lewis.
Keep them coming, Amy.
Our artist in residence is Justin Whitty.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Mike.
Thanks.
Hey there, it's Tamara Keith. I cover the White House. I know this is hard to believe, but one day the election will be over. Then the winner gets a lot more powerful. It's my job to report on what they do with that power. That's public accountability, but it's not possible without public support. So please support our work. Sign up for NPR Plus. Go to plus.npr.org.
Wait, don't tell me. Fresh Air, up first. NPR News Now, Planet Money, TED Radio Hour, Throughline, the NPR Politics Podcast, Code Switch, Embedded, Books We Love, Wild Card are just some of the podcasts you can enjoy sponsor-free with NPR Plus. Get all sorts of perks across more than 20 podcasts with the bundle option. Learn more at plus.npr.org.
Do you feel like there's more on your to-do list than you can accomplish? Or maybe the world's problems feel extra heavy these days. We can't eliminate stress, but we can manage it.
It's almost like I have a new operating system now. Like I tend to live more in this light.
Stress Less, a quest to reclaim your calm. A new series from NPR's Life Kit podcast.